Hi there, I'm Andy, aka Rodoc, and I thought today I would talk about some recommendations for TV, streaming TV. Um, and first, I will probably do a series of these short little videos where I recommend different shows which are currently streaming or have been on streaming very recently. So first off, well, I'm going to talk about some crime shows. They're all limited series, and they're all top notch. First off, um, we have on Netflix a show called Black Rabbit, and the Black Rabbit of the title is actually a restaurant, and that is run by Jake, who's played by Jude Law. And at the beginning of the series, his estranged brother, turns up. Vince, who's played by Jason Bateman, and these performances are top notch. The chemistry between the two is brilliant. Clearly, there's been an incident in the past which has meant they've split, gone their separate ways, etc. But now, for some reason, Vince has turned up, and his problems have followed him. And what happens, what occurs over the limited series, is things start to spiral out of control. It involves a heavy criminal element. Vince obviously owes a lot of money. He can't pay them back, and then they come up with some schemes to try and pay off the debt. At the same time, there's some other threads, like subplots going through, all woven in really well. So there's a question about some incidents going on in the restaurant, and also there's some shady deals going down. Really top notch, like I said, brilliant cast, led by Jude Law and Jason Bateman, but there are also some great supporting characters. Whole thing wraps up really quite well, though it's not maybe how you expect it would. Can't recommend it enough. It had me gripped. Probably not from the start, because it's a slow start, slow burn, but then the tension starts to build up, and you get into this real dread scenario, building up to this climax. I won't spoil it beyond that. It's just, yeah, worth a watch. You need to see it, and that's on Netflix. Okay, now for something a little bit lighter. Again, crime show. Surprisingly enough, I love my crime. I love my crime shows. This is a little bit lighter. This is a what I would say is quirky. Set in Glasgow, and this is called Department Q. After an incident where a number of police officers are shot, one of them, after his recovery, is given this dead-end job in a cold case section that he's allowed to set up, and he can pick his own team, basically to hide him from the media, etc. But the team that he builds is absolutely spot on. Technically, they have the skills, and the chemistry between them is brilliant. And there's a heavy on the sarcasm, let's say. And with it being set in Scotland, it's actually set in Edinburgh. It is really, really, really intense. You think, oh, they've got this dumb job, they're keeping him out of the way. But then he latches onto this cold case about a missing civil servant. And once they start investigating, they start unearthing all these secrets and stuff, and it's really good, like I said, and it's a brilliant ensemble cast. I think it's the main guy. I think is Matthew Good, and then his main assistant, who is she's absolutely brilliant. I think her name is played by Leah Byrne. I think her name is. Quality, absolutely quality. Again, quirky, but I honestly I can't wait for the second series, which has been commissioned now. So be aware, it's only one season so far. But it's really it's difficult to describe the tone of it. If you are from Britain, you'll get the jokes and stuff. It is bang on, and obviously the sarcasm also comes with the heavy Scottish influence. So can't recommend that enough. And that's again on Netflix. And then I'm just going to touch on a third one, which I saw recently, which is basically just been out for about a month. It just dropped on Netflix, and this is Agatha Christie's Seven Dials, which is obviously a book from nearly. I guess it's nearly 100 years old. The book. The story is set in England, in higher society, and I think it's 1925. It's set. So and it follows a young woman who her closest friend and potentially her new husband is murdered or killed, and everybody assumes it's a suicide, and they say, "Oh, how sad!" But she's not convinced. And then what happens is there's also then a series of other mysterious deaths surrounding this from her same friends group, and it loops back into the past. It touches on the Seven Dials, which you find out is a secret society. That's not a huge mystery, I don't think, for a book that's been around for nearly 100 years. But this plays out really, really well. The ensemble cast is absolutely excellent. You have lots of faces that you'll see from TV, some that you have not seen for a good while, maybe. But the lead who plays the lady of the young lady that starts doing the investigation, played by Mia McKenna Bruce. Really top performance. She plays this plucky 20s girl who's just not gonna give up. She wants to find out, who killed her friend, why, what's the connection with the clocks, and there's a whole interweaving laces of the story and whatever. And then you have Martin Freeman, who turns up as the police superintendent. He plays Superintendent Battle of Scotland Yard. Really, 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 really tight thriller, and the twist at the end is quite good. I mean, I can't remember. I don't think I ever remember reading the book or seeing any of the other adaptations, but I'm pretty certain there's been film adaptations of this. But of course, because it doesn't have the sort of main Agatha Christie detectives in it, so it doesn't have Miss Marples, and it doesn't have Hercule Poirot. It's one of the lesser known books, I guess. But it is really good. And surprisingly enough, it's been produced by Chris Chibnall, who, in my opinion, killed Doctor Who. In my opinion, that is only my opinion, of course. But in this particular instance, this production is top notch. It's three episodes. It's a 3-part. I think they're probably an hour each. So we binged it. We binged it in a couple of nights, or maybe even the same night. It was really good. Not a step wrong, to be honest. Keeps you guessing. You're trying to figure out who's involved, who's the murderer, and yeah, I misguessed it, a few times. So those are 3. Just to sum up, 3. Again, that's on Netflix. 3 crime limited dramas. Black Rabbit, set in the US. Department Q, quirky, set in Scotland. And then set in England among the aristocracy and the members of the Foreign Office in the 1920s. Brilliant. So seek them out, watch them. And if you haven't seen them already, please drop a comment if you liked it, what you thought was good. Try not to spoil it, obviously, because it's I don't want to. I try not to give away anything. I just try and give a feel for the way things pan out. Okay, so feel free to drop a comment below, like this video, or whatever. And if you want to get more of my views, let's say, they're not reviews so much, but views and recommendations for streaming, I'm going to do some more. I'm also going to tackle some foreign language stuff that's streaming, some really good stuff, and also loop back with some maybe older stuff that doesn't get a mention, that's still available. Okay, until next time, have some good viewing.